anything new. Okay, so one of the things I did want to take time for tonight is to do a little bit of a discussion and kind of like a check-in. So for those of you guys who have been around for any length of time, you know that I always ask these like 3 questions. And normally I ask them about me as a leader or as like a leadership team. And while I can still frame the question that way, and I would still love feedback on that, I kind of want to frame these 3 questions around us as a team, all of us as a team, and just kind of problem solve or congratulate ourselves, you know, give ourselves a good old pat on the back or whatever the case might be as far as, you know, when we answer these. So the 3 questions I kind of want us to consider are the first one being, what are we doing well as a team that you guys want to keep doing? What are we doing really good as a team that we should keep doing? And this can be something that you're noticing a lot of people doing, the team doing, resources that we're doing, ways we're connecting. It can be really anything. So Tracy says resources. So keep utilizing the resources, keep creating resources that are useful, you know, prioritizing that. Toby agrees. Okay. What else? I love the Reels challenge that we're doing using the Slack channel. And whether or not it's Reels or lives or posts or whatever, I really like the accountability of having in a Slack channel that doesn't take up the whole Thrive army. So if there are people who aren't in the challenge, you know what I mean? We're not like blowing their phone up. I like using the Slack channel for challenges and for keeping ourselves accountable and for brainstorming about those particular things. So I know for me, I really like that and I would love to do more of it. I would love to do that for our August challenge. I think we're doing a live challenge in August. And I would love to continue using that. I think that's been really productive. Jordan loves the simplified Zooms and the Slack channel for challenges. Tracy said the challenges. Laura, the challenge and having it separate from the chat. Okay, so it sounds like the 3 Zooms a week are working for people. Yeah. And the challenges. Now, is it just the fact that when we do challenges, you like using them in Slack, or do you like having focused challenges every month, or both? Both. Okay. Marcella. Oh, sorry, Marcella. I just couldn't see where the I was. Slack is an app that we use. It's like a communication platform that we use outside of Facebook Messenger. So if you're part of the Instagram Reels challenge, then you're in there because that's where we are posting our Reels and we're kind of holding each other accountable. Okay, so both. So you love, if you hear that noise, that's the Slack channel. Sorry. Oh my God, these little black flies. Oh, that's you. Okay, so let me make note of this. So things that we're doing now that are really good. Having challenges every month is a great work on developing those ROI activities. Absolutely. Okay. Sorry. Okay, so challenges. Now, I hate to kind of veer off because I'm sure we'll answer this down the road with my other question, but do you guys like having focused challenges or do you guys like challenge groups? So for those of you guys who have been around, we have challenge groups where it's like, you know, a challenge where we're like, oh, we're just going to hit you with a bunch of challenges that grow your business. Or we're only focusing on Reels this month. We're only focusing on lives. Not like we're not doing other stuff in our business, but like the challenge itself is focused on one particular skill. So most people like the focused ones. Okay. Had a feeling, but I wanted to ask. Tracy says, much more fun and less stress. And I also think it really gives you Jordan literally just said what I was going to say. It literally gives you time to master a skill. So it gives you time to suck at it at first and work through the kinks and then find your groove. And yeah, Caitlin says, create a habit. So the idea is that how many of you guys who are doing the Reels challenge felt like really dumb at first and you're like, wow, these feel really stupid. I feel really stupid. These are a pain. I don't want to do them in the beginning, but now you're kind of, you like them. Now you kind of are like, you're feeling the groove. You know how to, sorry, the fan keeps blowing in my mouth, my hair in my mouth. So you're going to see me keep messing with my hair. And so I like that. Where we do like normal challenges is it might be like, oh, do a reel this day, do 5 RCMs that way, do this, do that, do this, you know, different days. You're like, oh, wow, that was a really crappy reel. And then you don't know if we're going to have another reel challenge, you know, like another one of those. So yeah, I'm getting lots of intentional new friends. Absolutely. One thing I really like about this Reels challenge is it helped me to really focus my niche even more, which was really helpful for me. And I've seen it do a lot for you guys as well in that regard. Toby, yeah, I felt like that. I did too. I was like, I avoided Reels for like the longest time in my business because it felt very much like TikTok. And I felt like TikTok was so aimless and I would just get lost. And I'm like, this is not going to grow my business. This is so lame. But I feel like it's like fun like TikTok, but more intentional and focused and a curated audience. Whereas on TikTok, I'm like, I don't know who the hell I'm speaking to. Like, I feel like I have to entertain people on TikTok and they don't care about the value in my content. Whereas here in Reels, I feel like, you know, people want entertaining yet valuable content. So I like that. Yeah, the Reels accompany the rest of your Instagram. I like the confidence boost in doing these Reels. Absolutely. Laura says, I feel like it's easier for me to post things that fit into my brand with Reels. Yeah. And I feel like it's really cool because you get to put a lot more of your personality into your posts. For those, I know I get a lot of people who are like, I really suck at writing, right? Like I get a lot of people who say that, like, I really suck at writing. I don't love it. So this is a really good alternative to that because you can express what you're trying to say without having to feel like you're having to write a book or a blog on it. So I like that too. Okay, so challenges, using the Slack channel for challenges to keep it separate from the chat. Tracy said, and I heard a couple people echo this, resources. You guys like the 3 Zooms a week. You like having less Zooms. What else? What else are we doing really good as a team, or what else are we doing well that you guys want to keep doing? Another one for me, I think, is I like the more laid back nature of everything, if that makes sense. And here's the thing, which is really weird because for me, as a very red personality, very leader driven, leader focused, that's probably a weird statement coming from me, but here's what I mean by that. I like removing the pressure to show up, to perform, to feel like being the end all be all. And I'm sure other people on the other side of that coin feel less pressure to show up for me or for their leaders or for whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I think what we're doing is we're shifting and saying, okay, this is your business. Run it however you want to. If the way you run it is different than Rachel and different than me and different than Caitlin, that's perfectly fine. And if it doesn't perform the way you want it to, and if it doesn't go the way you want it to, that responsibility falls on you to shift those things. And that's what I mean by, and by you, us, me, everybody. I like that feeling, if that makes sense. So it feels more enjoyable to me. The team atmosphere, and I can thoroughly enjoy the community aspect without feeling like I have to come in and be like, all right, everybody, what are you doing to work your business? Okay, how do you need me? How do you need me to show up today? And the same for you guys. Like yeah, I'm doing this, and this. Like, it's your business and you can run it however you want to. You can run it at 2 a.m. if you want to, and not show up all day like the rest of us because it's your business. And you know what I mean? I like that. You guys don't have to agree with it. I'm just saying I like that. Rachel says less stress, perform, more time to create. Toby likes the balance. I feel like Laura says, I feel like more people are stepping out of their comfort zones with the changes. Rachel, more individuality is shown the time and creativity with their working niches. I actually have gotten a lot more work done, having less, and my family sees me being more present. Absolutely. So what's really funny is you guys still show up for yourselves, but removing the pressure to show up for yourself is making you show up more. That makes sense, right? Like it's growing intentionally and growing with the things that you align with and doing the things that bring you joy and making sure that joy is always at the center of what we do. Now, will everything we do bring a smile to our face and be like, wow, this is so much fun? No, but when you're same with Working Genius, when you're working more in the areas that bring you joy, you have like a joy reservoir to dip into when you have to do the things that aren't so joyful, right? Like when you have to do the things where you're like, oh, good RCM, but you know what? It's only 5 minutes. I can do it, right? Or certain things like that. So I agree. That way we can allow the community to be the community without having to come in and, I don't want to say pollute it, but muddle the waters with business, if that makes sense. Like we all are working alongside one another, not over or under one another. And we can just truly come in and enjoy one another and help each other instead of coming in and being like, things like that. So I enjoy that. It allows me as a leader, it allows me to really enjoy you guys. So, and vice versa, So I like that. I like not feeling the pressure on myself, and I like not feeling the pressure from you guys, and I like you guys not feeling the pressure from me, and like all the way around. No pressure anywhere, except the pressure we put on ourselves, Okay, so there's that question. And if you're still typing or saying something, you're more than welcome to finish it up. So then the next question is, what are we doing that's not working? What are we doing that's not going so hot? What are we doing that we should stop? What are we doing that's kind of like, this isn't it. This isn't really working. Like we gave it a go, we gave it a try, not really loving it. What are some things for you guys? Less Zooms.
Not using the resources we have on hand.
Okay. Oh, as in like we like not using the resources is something that we're doing that we should stop doing. Like we should start using them. Okay. I was like, hold on, how do I word this here? How do I like orient this? Okay. So we're not using the resources. So do that differently. Having 2 different chats is weird, but not a problem. One Slack and one in Facebook, you mean? Oh, gotcha. Well, I actually don't think anyone uses the other one anymore. I haven't talked in it, so I kind of let it go. If anything talks in there, it's Steven. Steven talks in there. The Slack bot. Steven, the Slack bot, talks in it. Fuck Steven. Yeah. So yeah, we don't have to use the community one. Now that the chat is back, we don't have to use that one. I haven't seen anyone really use it to say like, good morning. So, okay. So I'll get rid of the community Slack channel now that we have the chat. But we'll keep Slack for the challenges, it sounds like. Okay. Whoa, guys, my brain, I read fuck Steven and I went to write erase Slack and I wrote fuck Steven on my paper. Delete. I have to say it. My whatever my brain and the words in my brain and the words in my mouth say have to match, or else they don't make sense on paper. All right. Delete community Slack. Prefer regular chat. Okay. I have someone that sends it to. All right. So delete the Slack. What else? What else are we doing right now that we should stop doing or that's not working? Wow, this fan is really tangling my hair. Trying to think. I don't know because I'm definitely, yeah, go ahead, Rachel.
Sorry, I'm like, oh, excuse me, you got a question.
Oh, sorry.
I know with shifting, a lot of like team structures have kind of shifted. And I, you know, with not people not talking so much in Thrive Army, it's hard to like, I don't know what's happening on all the other teams. All I know is mine. But I know like we ask people, do you want to be in Thrive Army Messenger? But I feel like people not being in Thrive Army Facebook Messenger has created like a lack of accountability for a lot of people. Is that something, like, are there a lot of people, I haven't looked, are there a lot of people missing essentially from our team in there?
Like yours in particular? Like Triple T?
No, like,
or just mine, just Thrive Army in general?
Thrive Army in general.
There's a ton of people. Yeah, loads.
I just wonder if more people would show up if, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where we've definitely put it out there and people, I think, again, I'm listening to their actions and their actions are telling me that they just don't. I'm sure if I said, hey, you want to be in there, they'd go, sure. But they would never be in there. They would never talk. They'd never add to it. They'd never read it. They'd never anything. And that's not what I want it to be. So, you know, I could also just add people to it. I could be like, well, screw. But like, again, I'm trying to really shift certain things where it's like, if you're here, you're here intentionally. And I respect that you may not want to intentionally be in this space with me, with whoever, with the team, with, you know, I don't know. But we put it out there. I know Alicia's put it down on some of her chats and her legs. I know Tracy's put it out. I know Heather's put it out. I think I put it out on the Facebook page. So if people aren't in there or on there, I think they've kind of sort of made their stance clear, and they might change their mind. They might change their mind later, you know, and they're more than welcome to, you know, come back. So I think that's why, you know, like, because there's a ton of people missing. So one of two things is either they're not utilizing the resources or they're not present in the existing chats they're a part of and they've missed those announcements, or they've just like, no, nah, you know, and that's okay. Like I said, I only reopened up Thrive Army because I want it to be a community that's with people who chose to intentionally be there and utilize it and want to be a part of it. Like they've made the choice. And I know beforehand it wasn't. It was just like everyone was automatically added, whether they wanted to be or not. So I kind of shifted a little bit where it's like, you have to tell me, like, I want to be a part of this. So I just want to make sure that that particular community microcosm is all people who are like, I want to be here, you know? But I agree with you, which is why it was what it was before.
Yeah, I feel very 50-50 on it. Like 50% of me is very like, yes, that will shake people who don't want to be in there. That will help alleviate some of the maybe problematic senses of the chat. And then the other half of me is like, some of those people probably really needed that accountability and to really need something to visually pop up. And like, I'm a visual person. I can keep myself accountable, but I know a lot of other people are like, just haphazard, and I'm not trying to insult anyone, but some people just haphazardly walk through life and they're like, oh, there's this meeting, let me hop on. And they hear something inspiring and they're like, oh, let me get inspiring in my work, you know, space today. And so I'm my brain is just doing this. Sorry. I'm just
no, you're fine. No, I totally get it. It's one of those like rock in a hard place situations where I would love to volunteer people into specific situations where I'm like, you never know, you know, like there might be something valuable, you know, you might like it, you know, whatever. But I almost feel like it's one of those situations where if you force your kid to eat a food, they'll grow up not liking it, even though they never really try it. You're just like, oh, they'll want to try it eventually. But no, I mean, I feel you. I mean, again, my red personality wants to be like, everyone's going to be in there. We're all a community because you chose to be a part of this.
Yeah, sorry, I mean, talk again, but that's kind of where I'm at. Half of me is like, well, how are we going to keep people accountable by creating that accountability atmosphere? Hey, if you don't want to be here, doors that way.
Yeah.
But that's not like, you know, that's not very blue, very like, okay, let's do this. That's like, okay, see ya. Be there, be square. That's how my brain works. So
yeah, I kind of look at it like being, you know, the red personalities, it very much is a much narrower hole for people to fit through. And so those who want to and can fit through that, they're more than welcome. It works for them. But if I make that the only hole, then all the other people are going to be like, yeah, F this, we're all set, we're out, you know. But if I make the entryway this big, then more people funnel through, and then the reds will find the reds and the greens will find the greens. And it's kind of like if they don't have any accountability, I kind of look at it and go, well, maybe you need some one-on-one with your upline, or with a couple uplines. You know, if you really need that much accountability, then you are an employee, not an entrepreneur. And ideally, that's what we're all here. We are all entrepreneurs. And so if you're here with an employee mindset, it will always be one of those things that you're going to struggle with, you know, that we might want to identify kind of earlier on. Sorry, I see that Mandy put underutilizing the team Facebook group for shout outs, welcoming new promoters. I feel like this could be a huge way to boost the community aspect without flooding the chats. Okay. Do you guys feel the same way? Because I can open it up to just where anybody can post on the board. Excuse me, on the group.
I was gonna say that's one of my things I think that's not working. That's exactly what I was thinking, that same thing.
You were gonna post that sorry.
Yeah, I agree with Mandy, how she was saying that we underutilize it.
Oh yeah, okay.
I feel like in some of the other teams, like is it like Southern Lavelle, some of those, I don't know, some of those other ones, I feel like there's a little bit more interaction going on there.
Yeah.
Even if we did sort of like what I did on my team page where I made the graphics for new promoters. I did new promoters, new customers, VIP earners. I did one that was like caught you glowing, where people can be shouted out for showing up or stepping out of their comfort zone or whatever. Just we have a lot of yellow personalities and people who appreciate being shouted out or recognized for doing what other personalities might think is silly, but it helps. So I've got that, and then I can't remember what the other categories were, but even if you did it just with the one graphic and then everybody posted underneath like their flyers for their welcome promoters or whatever, then the people who actually want to be notified for new team members and new customers and stuff can go on there and welcome people and congratulate people. So it can keep it streamlined so it's not a huge mess or just like constant overload on the Facebook page. And the people who like that and appreciate that part of the community aspect can be tuned into that specific thing. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I think that's better because if you open it up, I think it's going to be like the Thrive Army original team chat where you're going to open it up to like Pandora's box of who knows what you're going to get.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I think keeping it streamlined to where it's all in the comments, all the new flyers and all of that stuff can be in the comments. It's just going to keep it to where it's not a mess. It can't get, chaotic or whatever. And the people who want to partake in that type of stuff have already probably commented on it at one point or another. So they'll be the ones that get notified for it. Right. So it's just, that was my thought process when I did it, because I didn't want my page to be like super taken over by welcome to the team or congrats on the new customer or, hey, so-and-so hopped on a Zoom and I just want to shout them out because I know they've been working 80 plus hours a week or whatever. You know what I mean? I don't want all of that to be on the page. So there's a specific spot for everybody to go to do those types of things.
Yeah, because I know I was talking in Triple T because they were talking about doing shout outs and little gifts and stuff like that. And I know for a lot of new people, probably before their time, is we did that. We had a whole board where leaders contributed and shouted people out for new ranks, qualifying for trips, random stuff, anything like Alicia's Caught You Glowing. And over time, and then we had like a whole newsletter that went out, and then we got in detail about all the people who were doing all the things, and it was great. And it was just one of those things where eventually it kind of fell away just because it was really hard for me and Alicia to eventually kind of only be the ones that were really going into our cloud and figuring out, we were like, okay, leaders aren't shouting their people out. We don't know what's happening all the time everywhere. And it was really hard. So if this is like something that other people could use to contribute to and kind of shout out people, and yeah, not polluting the page. Yeah, my ADD brain will be like, that's why I organized the page like so as anal retentive as I did. So I can create an album, like a shout out album, how we have like an album for everything else. I can create a shout out album and just kind of have different things there that, and whenever people add to it, I do notice that it goes to the top of the page. So when people see something new, like when people are commenting on what personality trait they are, I'll see whatever they commented on, I see that at the top of the page. So you welcome people, VIP, random shout outs, things like that. We can do that. That way uplines who want to partake in it can, and shout the people out, or sideline sisters. If like Rachel wants to shout out Tracy and Mandy wants to shout out Jordan, and you know what I mean? Like for just whatever, you're more than welcome to. All right, anything else that we're not currently, that we are doing? I moved on to my next question. That we are doing that we should stop doing. Another thing I would love, well, this goes to my next question. I'll hold on to it. Things we are doing that we should stop doing. No? Okay. All right. So then my next question is, what are we not doing that you would like to start doing? So what are some things that we're not doing that we should start doing, again, you know, whatever the case may be, things that we're not doing that we should start. Oh, did you sneeze or something? What was that?
I went to turn my camera back on and I hit the unmute button, and I was reading Tracy's comment when I went to turn my camera back on. So y'all weren't supposed to hear that giggle. My bad.
Hustling. Let's see. For me, I would love to see more lives. But again, I think with our live challenge, we'll be seeing more of those. But I would love to see more lives. We used to do live events all the time and live interviews like crazy. I'd love to start seeing some more of those. But like again, I'm sure that we'll see some of those with August's challenge. More lives, more minis going out, going back to the basics. Sorry, I'm admitting people. Okay, so Mandy says, yes, more lives, more mini experiences going out, things like that. What else? Doing a mini blitz.
Yeah, we had talked about on like my little small team Zoom that I did last Thursday. We used to do mini blitzes quite often. Like everybody who buys a promoter pack or has a bunch of product on hand would get added to the blitz, and then, you know, do little prizes or whatever. And I just feel like those are the things that we kind of stopped doing for one reason or another. But I think for the most part, I've started kind of implementing a lot of the stuff that I've wanted to do for my team, which was just kind of taking a lot of pressure off of certain things, and just focusing on all of the stuff that makes everybody happy and joyful and love doing what they were doing. But I'm definitely doing, I'll probably, now that the chaos of the baby shower and stuff's over with, finish the flyers for the live challenge that I had talked about. I didn't catch what y'all were saying before, like when I first hopped in, you were talking about challenges or whatever, and I don't know if it had to do with that, but I have that first flyer already made for the first week of August, but I'll work on the rest of them.
Okay. Yeah, we were just talking about, that was one of the things that we're doing now that we should keep doing, is people like the isolated focus challenges.
Yeah.
I talked about the August challenge being one focused on lives.
I like that too. And I think for anybody who didn't do the 30-day reel challenge, Nicole is doing one for August. So if you didn't do one for July and you wanted to get in on it, she says she's doing one for August.
Yeah.
So.
Then I see, okay. Rachel says a monthly leadership meeting. So like how our Sunday leadership Zooms used to happen. So not like specific ranks, but just in general, how to grow as a leader.
Well, yeah, I feel like
just a check-in.
What if it's just 1 month, like one of the Thrive Army meetings a month?
Yeah.
Just like, or even if it's just a few minutes in a meeting, like, how do you guys feel like you're doing? Kind of check in with, how do you feel as a leader? You know, some quick tips, and like, are you shouting people out? Are you checking in on your people? Are you checking in on your customer? All those kind of questions, just to get people thinking about it monthly, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you guys like that idea? So I know a lot of people have been missing the Sunday leadership. So we've gotten a lot of requests to do mindset and leadership again, but that would counteract a lot of people who love only 3 Zooms. And that's how we got to doing 17 Zooms a week, was every time someone loved the idea of a Zoom, we would just kind of build into it and do it and build into it some more and whatever. So does everyone like that idea of replacing one of the Thrive Army ones with a leadership one? Maybe we could do like the first Wednesday or the last Wednesday, something like that. You guys can vote whether you want it to be the first or the last Wednesday, but we can do something like that. Absolutely. Because I mean, leadership is my jam. I could talk about it all day, every day. So you don't have to twist my arm with that. Tracy says the Boss Babe boxes, like actually earning them, like actually. Okay. Absolutely. I still have a couple that are already boxed up, ready to go. And I have a whole office full of shit that I bought for them. So I'm down for it, you know, so I can put the couple $1,000s worth of stuff to good use. My thing was, I just wasn't going to put together, you know, $100 box, pay $30 for shipping with what I've just been, you know, what we've all been seeing, I think, the last 2 or 3 months. But if people are definitely going to put, you know, the work into being their own boss, that's kind of what it's all about, you know, being your own boss, taking responsibility, showing up like a boss, doing the damn thing, you know. With that is going to come people who will feel, I don't want to say like left out, but I guess so, you know, they're, you know, I think one thing that I want to recognize and I want to validate and say, like, I understand that, but also kind of the red in me, the leader in me, the also behavior scientist in me wants to say that it's not, business is not a participation trophy game. And while we can shout people out and recognize people, and I want to give people credit for literally everything they're doing, for me, the investment that the Boss Babe boxes take, I want them to be something that is really rewarding people who are truly stepping into that boss role. And I know that everybody will have their own interpretation of what that is, you know, like showing up despite my kids being sick and things like that. And if that's the case, then everyone deserves a Boss Babe box, right? So like just certain things, and I already kind of put out what those were. They're like doing what we should be doing as leaders and as promoters, right? But then going above and beyond that, like doing a little bit more, like really showing up and saying like, I'm my own boss. I'm doing it. I'm totally okay with doing those. Like I said, if you guys want them, I will do them. And I don't want to make Toby feel like Toby's face popped up. I was like, I should probably just call them boss boxes. I just call them boss boxes, not boss babe boxes.
It's all good. Hey, listen, I was trying to figure out, are we talking going back to the Zoom thing? Are we talking about compiling like the favorite Zooms that everybody enjoyed and then doing like a carousel during the month so people can kind of get what they need throughout the month to carry them on maybe a few times? Is that what we're talking about when we talk about that?
Yeah, kind of. So you're proposing, so like Rachel brought up the leadership one, but you're kind of proposing maybe doing like mindset leadership, like all the Zooms that we miss, that we don't do, like like doing them on a rotating basis for the Thrive Army ones. Like
yeah, like kind of like that. That's what I was thinking in my head, because like some of those Zooms were like they were like helping me keep my fire burning through the year. Through the month. And like some of the leaders that we have, I mean, when they talk about certain things, they are absolutely fire when they talk about it, and they get people fired up, so it kind of, helps people go forward without actually saying, hey, you're doing a good job. It's like, here, take this information, let me put a little inspiration on it, and go forth, guy.
Yeah, no, I love that. And if there are people who definitely want to speak on some of those things, I would love for people to do that. I think, again, like, and again, this is just the natural way of things. This is something that will, not even just us, but just in general, it always happens. But is just making sure that we have people who are kind of committed, whether it's on a rotating basis, on a continual basis, or whatever, that are committed to talking on those subjects. But again, I think if it's once a month, it shouldn't be too hard. I try to phrase that like, but you guys know, whatever. You either think I'm an asshole right now or you love me, so it's okay. I guess I don't have to worry about how I say things. Is if it's like once a month, right? So like how we do the Monday team ones, and the teams pick the subject. Like, it's not too strenuous for Team Hustle or Thrive or Triple T or Diamond Thrivers to like host one Zoom a month, right? Like, same thing, like if I say, hey, Mandy, can you do Wednesday's leadership one on the third Wednesday of August or whatever, or Rachel, can you do the second Monday or second Wednesday of August on mindset? So hopefully in doing it only once a month, more people will be willing to commit and having that follow through, and it won't be Rachel doing it every Monday, Courtney doing it every Sunday, Tracy doing it every Tuesday, kind of thing, where they're like, wow, this is like, this is becoming a lot. So I like that idea. I wrote that down. And I'm sure a bunch of people are like, yes, I agree. But I'll get to that in a second. I'm like trying to like only scroll down a little bit to make sure I don't miss people. Tiffany, I like the regrowing Zooms and tips from the top. So maybe a back to basics Zoom. Yeah, if someone wants to volunteer to do one of those for either a Monday, because I think in August, I don't think we have anyone claiming, I don't think we've had any teams in August say, oh, I want to do this subject. So we can try to do one of the Monday. If you want to talk about it in Thrive Army chat, and maybe whoever, whichever team wants to maybe do one of those on a Monday, I think that'd be a great topic. Back to basics Zoom. Zoom trainings. So like what? Like posting a featured YouTube training on the team. Sorry, Casey, hold on. What about posting a featured YouTube training on the team page? Oh, okay, like a series. So we talked about using our team podcast for that. So we talked about using our team podcast for those kinds of things, like talking about like things that we didn't want to take up a whole Zoom on, but that we would have it so people could listen to it at their own leisure.
I mean, like the Zooms that we already have on the YouTube channel, just taking them, pulling one, throwing it on the YouTube or on the team page, and being like, this is the featured training that's done. And then people can tag, their new people, or they can pull it and drop it in their chats, what have you.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so pulling a random one from there and just kind of being like, this is the featured one, and then, okay. Let me write that down.
Right. That way we're, for sure utilizing our YouTube videos, because I know a lot of people, like Tracy said, worked really hard on those.
Yeah. Maybe one thing we can do, because I'm not sure if there's one person, like, I don't want to be like, oh, well, since it was your idea, you do it. Or I don't know if I can commit to that. I don't want to say you commit to it. So maybe one thing we can do is we can say like each team maybe like, and maybe we can remind like it like, oh, this is the Triple T pick of the week. This is the Diamond Thrivers pick of the week. This is the whatever. And maybe when you guys go to do like your training on Monday, you can like be remembered like, oh, it's our week. We got to pick Triple T tip, the Triple T tip. Whatever, this is so many T's. Maybe that's a way we can do it, so that way everyone's kind of because if it's me, I'm going to be super honest, I will forget. So I cannot volunteer myself because I will let everybody down big time. I will forget, and I'm the full transparency here. So yeah, maybe that's one way we can do it. We can kind of double dip with whoever's week it is. You're doing the Zoom on Monday, and then if you want to do it Monday, cool. But you can do like your team pick, your team training pick of the week or whatever. Sorry, I'm still scrolling. I see there's way more comments than book recommendations. Love the new ideas and input. Well, we talked about doing like a book club for those who wanted to, obviously totally volunteer. I also in the Trello board, I can add more in the Trello board. I'm not sure if other people have the ability to add, maybe, but I have a whole list of ones in there. I can get the August calendar started. Okay, thank you, Mikkel. Yeah, like not using, sorry, I'm catching up, everybody. A monthly challenge reward is a boss, it's a boss box. Yeah, like run a challenge like every month, Rachel, and then just if there's more than one person who completes it and does all the challenges, then it's like a draw between everybody or something.
Yeah, like maybe if you have like 10 people who all have completed the challenge,
right?
Then you just pick whoever had the best sales or whatever.
Okay.
I don't know.
Qualifications. So Mandy has the same idea. I did have minimum qualifications. I think people just forgot what they were, but I also think that some people, they became really subjective over time. So would it be helpful if I had like clear cut, this is exactly what you got to do to get it?
No, don't do that. Okay. No, because then you'll have a bunch of people nitpicking, well, I did that. Why didn't I get one? Don't put that out.
Well, I mean, like you'd have to do like all of them. If you did
like basic parameters, yeah. But like whoever has maybe like, increased the most.
Right. Yeah. My thing was usually just if I can see you and if I can go, damn, okay, then that's someone that I'd be like, they need a boss box. Like if I'd be seeing what you're doing and I'm like, whoa, then I know you showing up. Like you showing up kind of thing. Or if other leaders would be like, girl, like Toby is doing the most, like I nominate him. I had people like nominating, so it was kind of the same thing. It was like really discretion, like other people being like they are literally doing so much and like they're brand new but they're doing so much, so some people got boss boxes just based on that. Sorry, going back, qualifications. Okay, you guys in the Facebook group for Monday Zooms. Okay, maybe as leaders we can share a weekly Zoom, a previous recorded one with our downline. And yeah, I think that's great just to do in general. Sharing a tip with them in your like your chat or something like that, or even in Thrive Army chat or whatever. I think that's really helpful. Once a month, picking a mindset, leadership, so on topic to replace Team Zoom. Yeah, we can do something like that. I also want to make sure that we're keeping some aspect of the Team Zoom because then we slowly start morphing back to what we were. And we lose this whole aspect, we lose the brainstorming, and then we're like, well, we have to add a whole new Zoom for that. And I'm just trying to be mindful of
that was just to Toby's idea with the whole carousel thing. You guys already talked about all that.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I think I'll do like, we'll rotate with like mindset and leadership, and then we'll have some that are still very much like this, where it's very roundtable discussion, so that we don't kind of lose that aspect, only just because that'd be my fear, is like I would slowly get, because I'm a trainer and I'm a trainer by nature. So like you wouldn't have to twist my arm in that. So you actually kind of, you know, I'm not yellow. So like, not that I don't love the community, but the community to me is very different than the community to other people, like what it looks like and what it means. And so like, even though I look at the training aspect, I'm like, oh my God, we're building such a great community. Other people are like, no, we're not. And I'm trying to respect that. So I have to like force myself. I have to be like, you know, force myself to sit around the fire and hold hands with everybody. It is valuable. It is. When I do it, I like it. Okay. But like everyone's laughing. It's
now
true.
all I see is you mentally going kumbaya.
Literally like, right. Like when I think about it, I go like, oh my God. But I do it and I'm like, oh, I'm so glad I did that. You know, so I don't even want to think like I hate what I'm doing right now. Like I like it. When I do it, I like it.
I agree with it, because I say that I'm the same way. And me and Courtney that actually talked about this. I have to have time to actually retreat. You know what I mean? I am a very good people person. I'm a really good people person. And we can sit and we can chat, conversate forever. And I wouldn't drop the ball at all. But at some point, I'll wake up in the morning and be like, you know what? Yo, I need like 2 black labels, maybe. So yeah, that type of thing. I mean, so I'm not all, you know, rainbows and unicorns. I mean, I wish I could be, but I'm just not built that way. So yeah.
I'm it's just one of those things for me where it's like, you know, I know that what some people need for the community and what I need are very, very different. And I'm just trying to honor how some people need the community to look in order for it to feel like a community. So we'll do the mindset and the leadership, and then we'll try to keep 2, we'll alternate. So it's like leadership, team Zoom, mindset, team Zoom, you know, whatever it is, you know, like certain things like that. So that we're trying to appease everybody, but not, we're still training on the things we want to train on, but we're not losing the community aspect of it. And we'll try to make the leadership and mindset ones like more interactive like this, so that people don't lose interest and then we don't feel like we're talking at you. Tracy's doing customer retention. No, we definitely need that, because as a team, as a whole, that's a weak point for everybody. I'm just going to let everyone know, myself included. I am very promoter heavy. I will say that all day long. I can recruit left and right. But customer retention and acquisition for me is something that I'm like not well versed in. Again, that's a very yellow trait, I think. Yellow and blue. My red scares people off too much. My customers be like, oh my God.
What about half and half, like for team Zooms? What if like, because we're not going to be doing this, what works, what doesn't work. So like, I'm trying to think of what's going to take this time out of this meeting, checking in with people, seeing where people are at, maybe problem solving or whatever we're doing in team aspect. And then what if like, you know, we just try to like shorten half and then the other half customer retention, or I like the idea of cycling some of the really important Zooms all month long, but adding another Zoom isn't really going to happen. So I was just trying to think of.
Yeah, I mean, we can. I think too, some of the things that people want to get trained on will actually end up being discussion points. You know, like one week we ended up accidentally talking about branding in our bio statement because someone had a question, you know. So I think like for me, it's more so like not coming with prescribed training, but more so being like, what do you guys need this week? What can we train on? What can we help you guys with? What can we do? You know, and kind of leaving it more like open-ended like that. Just to make sure that people are there.
That's important, because then people won't feel innately heard, and that team.
Yellow piece. Yeah, I'm trying to be more orange.
It's important though.
Yeah, I'm trying to be more orange, y'all. I'm trying. All right. Whoa, it just skipped to the bottom. Okay, hold on. Sorry, I'm making sure I didn't miss anything. Customer retention. Blah blah blah. What about dropping like a mindset podcaster link to one of our YouTube each month? Okay, hold on. Oh, it's in the Facebook group. Yeah, if that's one of the ones that they want to pick, if they want to pick a mindset one, I think like where we are right now or where we were a couple weeks ago, people definitely needed a mindset one. Absolutely. Like dropping one in, feel the room, and you can just be like, wow, I feel like we really need a mindset one right now. I don't know if anyone else is feeling kind of some kind of way, but this, when I remember hearing this Zoom live, it was transformative. So I'm going to post it again because I think everybody needs to hear it, kind of thing. So definitely doing something like that. All right, one last time, just to kind of give everyone a chance, what are some things that we're not doing that you would like to start doing again or start doing for the first time?
I swear, last time I talked. One other thing, I was just curious, what if on Mondays for teams, we have like a generic, even if it's like a mental list of like categories. I know each team, but like I'm talking in circles. In August for our Triple T team, I'm doing mindset. So, which I'm super excited about. But what if these teams, our teams that rotate, pick one of these awesome topics, and instead of rotating, like mindship and leadership should probably be like a team thing, but then like customer retention and nutrition, all these things really, like some of those I feel like should rotate on Mondays.
Yeah.
Like,
no, I mean, absolutely. Topics. I mean, again, I definitely think it's one of those things where I love that stuff. So I naturally want to be like, yes, more organization, more tasking out, more delegating, more structure, more whatever. And initially people are just like, yeah, more structure and whatever. And then over time, structure becomes the very thing that strangles them. So it's like a delicate balance in a sense where I'm all for that. And I would love to have, again, like when we had the leader Trello or people who would speak and whatever, we'd have like topics and, oh, let's talk about this, talk about that. And then over time, it just kind of became like people stopped using it and then stopped toasting. And then they were like, well, it's making it feel like we have to, we don't like that. So it's like, I would love to say those kinds of things. Maybe one thing we can do is we can kind of brainstorm as a team, maybe one of the team Zooms, or at some point, maybe one of them can be like a team planning Zoom where like we get together and we're like, let's plan August Zooms. What do you guys need? What do you guys want? You know what I mean? And we kind of talk about those things, and maybe if one of the subjects doesn't get a chance to be spoken about, maybe that person can write something or post a video on the team page about that or something, you know what I mean? So how do people feel about turning one of the Thrive Army Zooms into like a team think tank brainstorm planning Zoom where we all plan together what our training will look like for the following month? Is everyone cool with that? Or they're like, I don't feel like it would really work. That feels too not businessy, but like corporate, has a very corporate feel to it, What do you guys think? Yay, nay?
I can't be the only one that unmutes every time. I like that.
Okay.
Can we also talk in here? I'm like cricket.
Yeah.
It sounds, my brain sees it as a whole number, like leadership, mindset, team planning, and then like team check-in problem solving. I see that very like 4 weeks. I don't know. My brain sees it as like a whole schedule.
Lauren says, I like that idea. Then people have a chance to voice in what they need to learn. Yeah, that way too. If you're like, well, I'm not getting anything from the Zooms, good, then chime in and let us know what you need. Okay, so, and maybe one thing we can do as well, while we are planning, maybe we can just make that like, okay, how about this? Great, I'm not prescribing anything. This is just me thinking out loud, okay? Is we do some of the team Zooms, like on Wednesdays, we do like leadership mindset, and maybe one can be another popular topic that you guys like. Nutrition, customer retention, sales, closing, whatever, right? We can figure what that is. But maybe maybe the last Wednesday of the month can be a team Zoom. And on the team Zoom, what we do is we do this, we plan for the month, and then maybe we do some of our shout outs. You know, people can go in the chats and they can shout out new ranks, new VIPs, shout out random, like I saw Tiffany go on every Zoom this week, and I wanted to shout out Gabby because Gabby went above and beyond to do this, and Rachel helped me with a three-way call. Like we can do like a moment where we do that, and we can do like fun stuff, maybe like a game or two, not like a game, but I've done certain things before, like like a quick 5-minute cloud off a scavenger hunt, someone gets a prize, whatever. Like it can be like fun and business together, if that makes sense, you know? So like it can be like a housekeeping Zoom, but we can make it fun. And that way we're not adding new Zooms, but we're getting more value, because it seems like you guys like the roundtable discussions, but it also seems like you want more substance and value. So we're trying to find a way to marry the two. Does that sound like a good compromise? Does anyone else have a better plan? Because I'm sure a better plan exists. Mine aren't the only plans. That was what came to my mind. So.
No, I'm actually, I'm with that. I agree with the less Zooms, more value. So like however y'all want to like format it is, like I'm cool with it. You know what I mean? It's just with the before, with all of the Zooms that were happening, I couldn't. It made me feel defeated if I couldn't make it. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to be available and I want to be accountable. You know, and if I missed too many, then it made me feel like I wasn't part of I wasn't doing enough to be a part of the team, you know, or the community, you know. So with less Zooms and more value, I'm good with that. Hey, I can host, you know, inspiration Zoom or motivational Zooms. You know, that's what I do. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it sounds good.
Okay.
To me, I'm down with it.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So we'll just have to try to figure out what that third Zoom is. Maybe we can figure it out here. I know 19 don't speak for hundreds of people, but y'all are on, so whatever. What subjects? We've heard leadership and mindset consistently. So that will be one Wednesday, you know, nutrition and social media. Okay.
Closing the sale. I feel like closing the sales and like customer retention, some of those to me are like, those are basic things that we really need to grow on. I don't know.
Okay. So like, so it would be, and I'm just trying to think, in order to keep it from changing every single week, like just for consistency's sake, having one not specific, but one
name.
Yeah, like topic, whether it was like sales and marketing or social media or nutrition or something like that. Because, you know, Mandy can always talk for, you know, one of the
growing your business. It could be like any aspect of growing your business. I don't know.
Yeah. Like picking a topic for growing your business.
Yeah, like maybe, and it doesn't always have to be maybe closing the sale or marketing but like really super important things that you need to be doing for your business for return on investment. You know, like 1 week, hey, you need to be in Messenger. Another week, like this is how you're going to close sales. Or 2, this is how we're going to talk to people. Because a lot of people I have come in new as a promoter, they're very confused on how to just talk to people. Even though I'm training and I'm explaining and I'm voice clipping it and having one-on-one calls, I'm finding a lot of people are really challenged with the main part of how they're going to grow their business the most. And I think a lot of people struggle with that. Like, hey, you should be, you know, doing this every month, every day. You should be doing this for your business, or Is that, I don't know, things that like are definite return on investment activities, I feel like need to be a team goal.
I feel like how to talk to people kind of gets covered with the work with me's in the morning, just because of the way Tracy, she literally breaks it down every time she's on there, you know, what she's sending, what she's saying, how she's responding and reaching out and stuff. So I feel like that one's kind of covered on the work with me, but I know not everybody can get on a work with me in the morning. So if somebody wants to bring back an evening work with me, maybe that could be a more casual way to showcase how to talk to people.
That's actually, I don't know if I've ever told you this, Tracy, but I actually refer everybody to, hey, you have to get on. When they're confused and I try to train them, you have to get on those work. I may not be on there, but I talk about them all the time because that's how you run your business, and people like really need to see that. So yeah, I guess that is.
Yeah. I mean, we can have one that's still, it's like business. It's like the other one is just business, and it can be different aspects. It could be learning how to market, learning how to close the sale, learning social media tips, you know, things like that. So we can just call it business, and then we can change out the specificity of it as we need or as people request. And we can do, I saw someone suggest role plays with like customer promoter or how to overcome obstacles, you know, things like that. So we can definitely do something like that. Mandy said she can host an evening work with me. Not every day though. She might pick like one day, but again, that would probably add a Zoom, just so people are aware. It would add a Zoom, but
I don't think it's necessarily the amount of Zooms that bothered people. I think it was the style of Zooms, which was the super strict and training. So work with me, adding an evening work with me should be fine.
But what if it was like before or after a specific Thrive Army Zoom that we did a work with me? Like the evening.
I mean, it's
that way you could jump in early. Yeah, you could jump in early and then hit the Thrive Army, or jump in, you know, just stay on or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it all really is dependent on when Manny can do it. If Manny can do it before or after on a Wednesday, then that's cool. I mean, and also, you know, it was the style of Zooms, it was the amount of Zooms. I just want to make sure we don't get back to the amount, because that was a complaint by a lot of people, was the amount, you know. And obviously adding one or adding two or whatever, I just want people to know, like, Tracy still does them every single day, you know, but they're optional ones that, I mean, they're all optional. But again, I just want it to be one of those things where, I don't know, I feel like I have to make it abundantly clear verbally in front of everybody. Like, they are not mandatory. You do not have to.
Hey, you know what? I was just sitting here thinking too. I know everybody has like, we were talking about, you know, having the basics and the fundamentals and stuff and the building blocks and the RCMs and stuff like that, Zooms like that. But, and I don't know if this is actually maybe affiliated with different type of colored people, but I think that branding, keeping at the same pace with people entering into the business and having them understand the aspect that at any time, Lavelle could say bye, and what do you have to actually hold on to if Lavelle says bye? You know what I'm saying? And having a Zoom or to create that importance in people's mindset going into being a promoter for Lavelle, so they can actually start like taking steps earlier on instead of thinking about it, you know, when they're 12K or 40K or whatever the case may be. I only bring that up because me and my wife were talking like right when I came home, and I have a couple friends that 10 years ago, they were doing Herbalife, and they transitioned from doing Herbalife into doing their own thing. They had their own branding with 2 6-figure businesses 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And so that level of importance, to have that mindset that you are in this business for you. We love Lavelle, we love the product, but we don't have any assets in Lavelle and the product. You dig what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. And I know that I talk about that a lot. And it's one of those things where if people, I would love for everyone to get on board and want to, because it really does safeguard you. I don't even want to say like your business, but you as a business, you know, you as a brand, you as a legacy. And it's something that I would love to say. It's something everybody should do. But I also understand not everybody wants to, can, desires to, whatever. But if you are one of those people who kind of want to take the next step or go next level with you as a brand and you as a business, please reach out to me and let me know, and I will work with you guys, because that's something that's really near and dear to my heart and wanting to do that. And that's why I talked a lot about, you know, yes, Liam, you may, doing like email campaigns and branding and just certain things that really secure you. Like Toby was talking about assets, you know, one of those assets are contacts. You do not own any of the contacts in your back office, not a single one. And so like if LaBelle just went poof, or you decided to go poof and whatever, you know, if you have your own email contact system or your own lead nurture system or your whatever, they're yours. You can take them with you wherever, you know. You can't take your back office with you. So that's something that I really stress, and I work with a lot of people on the side, you know, like, because again, I want to respect that some people just want to do this and it can be as little or as big as they want to, but then there are some people who kind of want to do other stuff. And if that's you, please reach out to me in like a private messenger or whatever, and we can work together on those things as well. But I do, Toby, think it's very, very important. Absolutely. Just to kind of, it safeguards you. Plus, I feel like those who really have nailed that down find more success here because they know who they are and their branding is more on point and they're much more confident in certain things. And so it makes them a powerhouse. Absolutely. All right, we've gone over like an hour, but that's okay. I really needed this to be able to kind of just check in with you guys. Like I know that we have been transitioning over the last month or two. And so it was important for me to kind of give it time to do its thing, so that I could have more accurate data, I guess you could say. So like when we say, hey, how's this working? How's that not working? We know that we have plenty of time to under our belts to be like, okay, this is not working or this is working. You know, it's easy to say that something's not working after you've given it a week, you know? So I wanted to give it enough time. So this was really useful. So we know how to really kind of move forward in August with a little bit more intentionality, a little bit more team focus driven. And I have all my notes right here. I'll try to do like a recap in Thrive Army for those who missed it. And also just if you guys want to add anything to it, if I missed anything as well. So we'll go ahead and let you guys go, let you go back to your families and your businesses and your lives. But anyway, I always value everything you guys have, all of your input. I love you guys a lot, and always appreciate you guys taking time out to spend with me and spend with one another. So I will catch you guys in the chats. Bye guys.